Yo, welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Great League remix, and let's try out this team here. We're going to use the Shadow Gligar and the Shadow Ninetales and Shadow Poliwrath again. I just like this team here that we're going to try it again and to see how it deals with different matchups. We're going to switch out here and we're going to see the Registeel. We have the Shadow Poliwrath dealing a lot of fast move damage. We're going to go for this dynamic punch right here. This is going to get the KO or it's going to get the shield. It does go for the KO right there. And now we have to deal with this Galvantula. Are we going to be able to deal enough damage here to pressure a shield? We go for the debuff, and then our opponent does decide to throw the move before we get to our own move here. They go for the discharge, taking out the Poliwrath immediately. We're going to go into our Gligar, and then they switch out immediately into their Quagsire. Quagsire here potentially has Stone Edge. Do they throw the Stone Edge here? Yes, they do. We do shield the correct Stone Edge, and now we're just going to keep farming. We have the Weather Ball ready to go. Let's see, we end up getting a shield. No shield, and now we're going to definitely either KO or get the shield on this next one. This is going to grab the shield from our opponent, and it looks like they're going to take us out here with another Stone Edge. Down goes the Ninetales, and here we have the Gligar. Do we have enough energy to beat the back line here? Aquatone does get revealed. Super effective move. You know the Galvantula is still there. We go for this Aero Ace. The Aero Ace does grab a shield, and now it's a race to the last move. We are able to grab that. The last Aero Ace. This is going to KO the Galvantula, and now we just have to farm down the Quagsire, and that is GG's right there. So nice play by us, and a good game to our opponent. Able to win that game with the Shadow Gligar coming in clutch, basically beating two Pokemon at the end. All right, next game, let's see what we find. We got the Shadow Gligar versus the Mirror Gligar, but it's not Shadow. So we're going to, okay, they actually switch out into their Shadow, their Dragonite. We're going to go into our Ninetales, threaten KO or shield immediately. They are going to just let it go, but they decide to just leave because the Gligar would also be terrible against our Ninetales. So they would either have to bring back in the Gligar or basically bring in their last Pokemon and get taken a lot of damage. So GG's. Next game, we got the Shadow Gligar versus the Greedent. Greedent here is going to struggle to beat this Gligar as the Greedent only has neutral moves. There's the body stem revealed. They did try to catch a move, and they revealed that they have the Gligar in the back. Luckily, we do have this Ninetales here. Ninetales is going to be able to beat them to their potential dig. Weather Ball goes through, takes out the Gligar, expecting their last Pokemon. Yep, there it is. The Carbink gets revealed. So we have the Carbink to deal with. We're going to go for this Dazzling Gleam to either do some decent damage. It's not going to do a lot because Carbink is very, very tanky, but so much so that we get it into the low yellow. We're going to bring back our Poliwrath here. Potential Moonblast energy, so we shield right here. We do shield the correct Moonblast, and now we're looking for a potential farm down. They decide that that's not going to win them the game, so they switch out, and then they throw the move immediately. We can catch the move on our Gligar here. Oh, they do get the boost, so they are going to have to potentially shield here. Okay, so there is one shield, and they have to get to another move to take out our Gligar, so we're going to go for another Aero Ace, dealing a good amount of neutral damage. Next Aero Ace will KO. This is going to get the shield or it's going to get the KO. Let's see what our opponent ends up doing here. They decide to just shield it, and they did throw the move, so we're going to allow it to go through. And now this allows our Shadow Poliwrath to wreak havoc here. It is going to be able to farm down, and now we are in a great situation. So GG's to our opponents, able to win that game with the Shadow Poliwrath. And that Gligar actually put in a lot of work, putting a lot of pressure on the Greedent to either use some shield or use some energy. Here we're going to have the Shadow Gligar versus the Sableye. Okay, interesting matchup here. Kind of neutral. You can see right here we're both doing a decent amount of fast move damage. They're going to be able to throw this move here. Foul Play does go through. We don't shield it. They try to catch a move, and it ends up being the Gligar. So we do have the Ninetales here. We are going to be able to reach this Weather Ball before they get to their potential dig. This is going to get shielded, and now our opponent here is going to have to throw a move. We are going to let this go. Ends up being the Aero Ace bait. We have a decision here to make. Do we shield here or do we allow it to go through? We decided to just let it go. so that we can potentially come back with the Gligar. Gligar on our own has spawned up a ton of energy. We're going to throw this Arrow Ace. This is going to take out their own Gligar, and anticipating that Sableye to come back in here. We're going to throw this Arrow Ace to deal some good neutral damage. We grab that last shield, and now we have the Shoutout Poliwrath with 2 shields, trying to win the game with this Shoutout Poliwrath. Here, we know that they have a good amount of energy. We're going to shield the first one here. It ends up being the foul play bait. That's fine. They actually switch out into their Poliwrath. And let's see how much damage this Dynamic Punch does. Okay, good neutral damage right there. Gets it into the low yellow. Trying to get a... Okay, we're trying to get the farm down. Unfortunately, couldn't get it, so we're going to have to just shield right here. Icy Wind does debuff our attack. However, we have a lot of energy on our Poliwrath. We're going to go for the Dynamic Punch immediately. We need this to KO or come close for the farm down. And boom! After one fast move, we are able to take down that Sableye. So GG's to our opponent. That Sableye was very close to remove as well. So I don't know if the foul play would have been enough to take us out, but we were able to snipe their energy essentially. All right, Shadow Gligar versus the Mandibuzz. Okay, interesting matchup here. We're going to stay in for now. We do have the better answer with our Ninetales, so we're going to switch and catch a move. Anticipating the Dark Pulse. Yep, there's the Dark Pulse, so we do catch inefficient energy. Now they're going to throw another move. This is definitely the Arrow Ace. Arrow Ace does chip away at the Ninetales. Funny enough, they are staying in, so whatever they have in the bag also does not want to see the Ninetales. This Weather Ball does go through, and now we have a inkling that we need to shield this, so we do decide to shield it, and they do reveal that they have a Gligar in the bag. So Gligar switching is actually horrible for them because this is going to pressure a ton of shields. This is going to grab the second shield right here, or it's going to get the KO, but they revealed double flyers right now, so we can anticipate something else. Potentially a Poliwrath, maybe? We don't know yet. So we're going to go into our Gligar, and then we're going to use Arrow Ace here. Almost takes out the Gligar. We know we can take the next Arrow Ace here, and then we're going to be able to farm down. Let's see what they have besides the Mandibuzz, or do they just bring back the Mandibuzz? All right, so they end up having the Gligar in the bag. So they have triple Flying Team, and now you know why they did not want to see that Ninetales. That Ninetales wrecks their entire team. Here, we're going to be able to get to an Arrow Ace. This Arrow Ace will get this probably into the red. Oh, almost KOs, but it does get him into the red. We're going to allow this one to go through, and our opponent does reveal Arrow Ace. We're going to come back in with our Poliwrath here, able to farm down the Mandibuzz, and able to farm down that Gligar. So GG's to our opponent. That Ninetales, obviously MVP, grabbing shields and everything. So check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.